Hi there, and welcome to Catch Tarot. This is a brand new channel, bringing this practice online as well in hope to bring you greater insight and ability to sift through your current issues and resolve them with the least possible turbulence. The readings give you a better approach to life and better ability to see it from different perspective. Just simply imagine then when entering a tarot council, you're on the ground floor of a big high-rise. You know where you want to head, but you feel that you really don't know how to get there. So getting a direction is so much better. After all, the view is better from the top, and hence the penthouses are highly valued positions. And this is where I hope to get you. I'm professionally a photographer and a life coach, so I use tarot symbolism for fast and deep insight in my client and my clients' issues. I see no point of sugarcoating. After all, we only move on to a better direction once when we get it, as Oprah says, when we get an aha moment. I hope these readings give you at the least some entertainment, especially if you're also a cat lover and you'll be able to fully free the emotion and intention of a card, and at most to make you look deeply into yourself and put some work to get yourself to the higher ground and ascend to that penthouse. If you like what you hear in those videos, please subscribe, like, and give me your comments how this relates to your situation. There are many ways of interpreting the cards, and your own insights will help others. Please also check your ascendant and your moon sign. If you don't know what it is, please go on the website. There are many others, but Cafe Astrology I like, you can do this calculation and then check the other two signs and merge them together. Thank you again. Subscribe, like, and visit back soon. Hi, Leo. Welcome to your weekly Taroscope. So let's just one card for you from January 26th to February 1st. Leo, January 26th to February 1st. Please don't forget to subscribe and like. I'm actually creating this weekly according to how many subscription and likes I have from your sign. So the people who get the most are going to get the readings faster. So also, at the end of the video, I'm going to provide you monthly if you haven't seen it already, because monthly is giving you more or less all the possible curveballs that you can expect in order to get your bigger goal. And this is kind of giving you a 3-card overview to what's going to happen. If you need more insight into your particular situation, you actually can take advantage of extremely quick basically readings. You have only $10 for one question, and you get a recorded audio back. So take me up on this opportunity. This is like the weekly special. So let's do it. So, okay, Leo. We have a jumper. Ooh. Okay, Leo. 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 Ooh. Why did I want the fourth one? Why did I want this fourth one? Okay. Really interesting. Really interesting. Okay, Leo. The bottom card, Lovers. Look at this. Can something be more cozy than two cats who decided they like each other? So what do? They snuggle up and they spend all the times together. They kind of like want to actually have the world for themselves, and they really don't care what the other people think. This is kind of like ultimate yin and yang, as you see here, and this is kind of the base of your matter. It could be also choice. This catty chose this to happen. So maybe what you're facing is a choice. Also keep in mind that my readings are never including reversals in these general readings, and there is a reason for that, because it could be that this is happening to you, what kind of comes through the cards. It could be that you know, you are the ones doing it. So hence I'm always going to give you everything that happens in part of it. So here are your cards. And the last one was this one. I'm going to address this. So what do you have here? You have Six of Sky, you have Death, you have Six of Earth, you have Five of Sky, and the bottom one you have Lovers. Okay, how do I do this that you see everything? Do I move this a little bit further back? I guess. So you can see all cards here. There. So Six of Sky is Six of Swords in the regular. It kind of represents in the regular deck that like kind of figure with a child and sort of like a person who carries them over and kind of like represents the duality. Are you the person taking somebody to the safe place, or are you the person taken to the safe place? And the safe place is in sight, but it's still, you're still not there. In this particular deck, it's different. You see the trouble, and the trouble is usually in the fives. Fives are trouble because they kind of like after four, you kind of lose the stability that you have. And I'm going to put here under. And basically, you know, this kitty is so fed up. This kitty sees there are no winners, there are just losers in here, and he is out of there. So what basically is happening, like these are thoughts. You kind of like are fed up with things that don't work, the choices that you are making, the choices that you're feeling, or maybe you had to walk away from something that didn't work for you. You are going to shed angers and fights and unproductive things. Sky is very abrupt. Swords and sky basically is the highest, I would say, of basically categories, because it was connected to novelty. It was connected to those ideas have to be followed. Those are good ideas, and that's why they kind of like move extremely swift. They're represented with a sword and has this like two ends. It can kill you. It can kind of like give you this novelty, but you know, we are basically interpreting this here as something that's going to be on the level of idea. Swords and sky is the idea. It's something that comes above, so that Kitty just had enough. You couldn't kind of like remake this face. So what happens? Maybe this Kitty felt it kind of participated in something that actually really didn't work. It goes back to your cards of choices. So the Kitty maybe lost one of his lives. Maybe he got injured in this fight, but kind of like it's time for rebirth. Like you have 9 lives. So that is actually a good card. It can have a positive meaning, can have a negative meaning, of course. Um, it can even represent the real death, but this is not the case in your reading over here because the other cards are not basically supporting it, right? That is also part of what I call it a major or higher major arcana, which are the last 10 cards. And these are more really lessons that have to be hard learned. Those are like those sign points in life. And so you got two major arcanas out here. You got 2 6s and you got 1 5, which means this week you're kind of like establishing a progress and you're establishing a new path. That is the end of an era, at the same time beginning. You finished university, now you're looking for a job. It's also a reminder of mortality. Maybe you're looking and taking kind of like, uh, kind of like summary of where you are in life, kind of discovery and trying to decide a new life direction. Just imagine that you can start new. This is not exactly like Fool, which is kind of like without any premise and learning everything. You actually have learned your lesson. You have learned what doesn't work, and you have learned to make your choices, which shows over here really well. Six of Earth is like, look at this. This cat decided to share its food with completely new with mother in the family. This is really big for a cat. They're very territorial, and you can only share what you have and kind of like give a portion to it, because it's really important to know that even when you share things, and if you are the one person who wants to help somebody, you cannot do it to a point that people become dependent on you. You have to do it in a way that this kind of helps all the parties. It helps you to foster your growth, and gives another person ability to kind of like stand on their feet. So basically, I mean, this is somebody you might take under your wing and kind of like try to decide to help them out. I mean, it could be financial help, it could be gifts, it could be your desire to kind of like repay somebody also. On a bad side, this can kind of indicate jealousy, and it can indicate unstable finances and frustrated plans, or even a debt that you are like dealing with, or a couple of them, and you just have to make a choice about it. Because I have to remind you that lovers is a really, really tricky card. I mean, of course, it excites us always to see it, but again, this is a lower major arcana, because these are still, remember, there are still kind of choices. It does show love and respect and partnership and trust and communication and I guess perfection, beauty, and couple that work together to overcome trials. So here, these kitties are losing their ground. This is failure, instability, separation, frustration, instability, confusion, hissing, not willingness to share. So this is kind of like where you are. You're kind of like deciding who is basically here to be in your circle. I'm not so sure why this came out, because Five of Sky indicates, look at this, you have a Sphinx kitty that is different, doesn't have hair. And look at these cats in the Sky clan. The cats are loners. They're actually basically thrown out from their clan, and they're learning how to do it on their own. So they're like highly independent, they're loners. This can be coming from all sides to you, and maybe this is the part of your rebirth. Maybe this is still active thing over here, because to have these three cards at the same time, it could mean that you're actually going actively through some kind of situation right now, and the ending is not here. And even though you're dealing with basically bullies, and kind of like bully usually attracts like people, and kind of like they gather around and support this idea. However, keep in mind that on their own, like they're nothing, and you can take one at a time, but you cannot take them all together. So you need to regroup. You need to see, possible this card means to help yourself. And that's how I would see this interpretation. Because, it's kind of like here, you're seeing things that don't work. You're like basically renewing yourself with kind of like a new path, a new life. You are learning how to nourish yourself, and maybe learning how to take a stand against the people, and or maybe just circumstances that are not the circumstances that you want. Okay, so let's really clarify what this is all about. So let me get your rune. So guess what, you get a rune of happy endings. So this is one of my most liked runes, Vunya. It's showing a kindly influence that ensures that everything turns out well. And it's in the upright meaning, which means, this rune just cannot fail to lift your spirits. So maybe this is kind of like you're going to have it in the back of your mind that the bullies are out there, or you've just been through the bullies, because I'm not so sure where this card fell, because I didn't look. It could be actually before there, which kind of would make more sense. This basically means that you found in the home and domestic harmony and company of good people, and I guess it's going back to your lovers major arcana card, and this is like upper major arcana, so you have two basically important events happening. uh, this actually is the most important meaning, is like in the realm of romance, uh, when it happens there, then like its power is fully expressed, and that can foretell falling in love. Again, we'll go back to your lovers and maybe kind of be interpreted that way, and possibly meeting somebody who is extremely attractive, because this is kind of associated with exceptional physical beauty, and lovers is also beauty is in the eye of the beholder. You kind of like go to a person you're attracted to, right? And that can kind of blossom to commitment. It could be kind of like you figure out what doesn't work, you kind of like figure out, like, I mean, what is that you need to love and to couple. You kind of resurrected yourself. You're right now into the position of sharing. This is kind of like taking steps, being curious, but being very open, and at the same time connecting to what doesn't work. This is what works, this is what doesn't work. Maybe this was the decision over here. This is also going to show if it's not the love, pleasant and good dealings with others, and profitable partnership if you're actually trying to do it. And also as far as your social life, you know, new lasting friendships will be formed. And if you have any health issue, it's going to resolve really well. So don't fret. Well, hopefully, Leo, you enjoyed your things, and all the troubles that you are going through are going to soon see the light of a day. Please check your monthly, and the link is like at the end of this video. Also, please subscribe and please like, and see you next week.